Hey y'all, listen. Turn this TV down. We have these poor substitutions. It's like we're lacking nutrient density, quite literally, and we're malnourished. I was just about to lay down and take a power nap. Man, it's crazy here, right? Anyway, I was about to lay down and take a power nap. The center? Yeah. I was about to lay down and take a power nap, and then all of a sudden, I took the dog out, came back, I was about to lay down. And all of a sudden, I was hearing this. I was hearing, you know what will make the devil mad? Is to hop on live before you go to bed and say something, gas somebody up, say something that'll make somebody feel good if they come across this message. Give somebody some encouragement or something. Anyway, so I was like, for real, God? Okay. Yeah, let's make the devil mad. Let's hop on live. So this is what I was hearing, though. For whatever reason, this came on my mind to share with y'all. So do y'all know maybe about, let me see, this might have been like 2018. Maybe 2017, 2018. I can remember this so vividly. I was in a relationship with somebody, and I remember being asleep, and the person was in the bed. They was watching sports or something. And all I know is I remember waking up and being like freaking out because I heard like a whisper in my left ear. I'm not kidding. This is what I heard. Your future is so bright. Your future is so bright. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. That's what I heard. And I was like, I remember hopping up and being like, did you hear that? And I asked him. He was like, what? I'm like, did you just say that to me? And I told him what I heard. I was like, I swear somebody just whispered in my ear, your future is so bright. Your future is so bright. He was like, no, I ain't say nothing. I didn't say nothing. No, I didn't say that. So I thought, oh my God, that must was like God or something, or angel. It was the weirdest thing. It's bizarre. I ain't never heard it so clear and so loud. It sounded like a voice. Anyway, so I wanted to share that dream with whoever might come across this message in the near future. Whoever might come across this message. God put it on my heart to just share with y'all that dream I had. And yeah, this was back in like either 2017, 2018. I could remember like it was yesterday. I was knocked out. I was pretty knocked out, but I kind of could hear because it was sports playing on TV. And all I remember was hearing in my left ear, it was whispering. Somebody was like, your future is so bright. It was a man voice. And that's all I kept hearing. Your future is so bright. So yeah, if you coming across this, I just feel like there's no such thing as a coincidence, nothing like that. I think that you might needed to hear that. If you come across it and you know you live in you trying to do the right thing and you trying to evolve into your best self and grow, mature, whatever it is, you got goals, desires, your future is bright. Your future is bright, whoever you are. And if it don't seem like it's bright, don't pay attention to what's happening right now. Do what you need to do in your mindset or whatever so that it can shift and it can be everything you want it to be. Because I heard that in that dream, and I don't know, that voice was coming from somewhere. Your future is bright. Your future is bright. So just hear that and receive it. You know who you are. You know if you're doing the stuff to try to shift and change and grow and pivot to make it bright. So if you're doing that, great. If you ain't, you know who you are, but it's never too late. You can always shift. Secondly, this is the other thing that I wanted to share with somebody. For whatever reason, I was thinking about it. What popped in my mind was, y'all know how people be talking about a parallel universe? That popped in my head a little bit ago. And I was like, what do that mean? Like a parallel universe? What do you mean? And then all of a sudden it came more clear in my mind, like, oh, a parallel universe don't mean like there's a bunch of Earths or a bunch of Mars or a bunch of, no, a parallel universe, at least from my perspective, or at least the download that came in. All that mean is, on a personal level, a parallel universe is just what your life will present as if on different trajectories, different timelines. So if depending on where you are on your consciousness journey. So a parallel universe meaning, so there are parallel universes of who I am right now, meaning there's a parallel universe where my consciousness is even more evolved and maybe some of the desires and goals or things that God's put in my heart that I need to ground into the reality while I'm alive. There's a parallel universe where that's already happening for me, but I haven't caught up to that yet. Or there's a parallel universe where I am at a lower frequency in terms of my consciousness. There's a parallel universe where you're a less evolved version of yourself. So he put that on my spirit dimension, because at first, like before I really was just kind of pondering on it, I'm like, parallel universe, what do they mean? Like, why do people be talking about that on TV shows and stuff? And I'm like, there's no way. But no, all it is different versions of your reality depending on where you are in your evolution. So there's a parallel universe. There's a parallel universe where you got a mansion, whatever your dreams are. There's a parallel universe where that is your reality. And so if you're not living that, whatever reality that you dream of, if you're not living it currently, when they say there's a parallel universe, that's meaning your consciousness have evolved to a level to where you're able to feel worthy of manifesting and grounding whatever that is, those desires or whatever those things, burning desires that God has put in your heart that he wants you to do, or that he wants you to launch, or whatever, or he wants you to buy or have or experience. It's a parallel universe where you have all those things, but it's just a matter of your consciousness, your inner making, your inner workings catching up and evolving in a way to where you can perceive how to ground ground that version of yourself and live it in the reality. So that was the gist of what I was able to come up with when I was like, because I thought it's no way there's a parallel. What do they mean by that? But this is just talking about consciousness. That's all. And I just thought that was so interesting. So I said, yeah, that came to my mind. And the reason I know I probably should just mention it is because I saw something random I was looking at, and then the lady started talking about a parallel universe. So I said, oh, I'm gonna get on. I want to mention that. So anything's possible. It really is. And it just boiled down to your thinking and in your perspective and perception. But anyway, I don't want to make this long. I'm gonna take a little power nap here. But I was just reflecting on that. I said, that dream was years ago. But if you come across this, more than likely, you need to hear this too. Like, man, your future is bright. Your future is bright. It is bright. And you just have to believe that, to receive that, and just know it. And just be sure you're doing the right thing. You're on the right side of karma, because that stuff is real. But your future is bright. It really is. And yeah. Oh, here go the other thing that popped in my damn mind. Do y'all know last night when I was trying to take a nap, I couldn't even sleep, man. All of a sudden I had got this overwhelming feeling of shame and guilt came to me. Like, I was fine. I was just cooling. But then all of a sudden, shame and guilt, just the feeling of that just kind of dropped down on me energetically. Shame and guilt. And then I had to sit with that because I'm like, I know that ain't me. But they say you can pick up the energy, whatever's going on out there in the collective or in your vicinity. If that's an energetic signature that's playing out, sometimes you can pick that energy up. Because I definitely was not in that space energetically, emotionally, psychologically. I wasn't there. But I thought, well, what the hell could this be about? It was heavy too, because it made me kind of tearful. Like, damn. Collectively, that's a dominant energy that people sitting in, shame and guilt. So then all of a sudden, God kind of revealed to me that collectively, people are sitting in an energy of guilt because, for whatever reason, a lot of people have not evolved out of the conscious level that would make them compare themselves, or not compare themselves, but feel guilty because they are not where their egoic personality perceives that they should be at this certain point or trajectory in their life, or at this certain age. It's a heavy weighted feeling of guilt emotionally that people are living with, because they feel like they're not doing what they should be doing right now, or they're not where they need to be, or they haven't accomplished what they needed to have accomplished at this certain stage in their life. And God just put on my heart, like, that's a lie. And the only reason somebody will be carrying that level of heaviness in their spirit is because for whatever reason they definitely have not had a spiritual awakening yet, and that's okay. But it's because they are still a victim psychologically to the world, the man-made ideas in the world about who you think you need to be, how you need to show up, what you need to own, what car you should be driving. You still wrapped up in that cycle, that loop. And it's hurting you. It's hurting you. It's hurting you. It's hurting your feelings. It's hurting your heart, making you feel bad about yourself. And so he just said, that's what the guilt is coming from, that I felt that energy that kind of came over me. A lot of people in the awakening, in a collective, especially people who aren't awakened, that's a heavy feeling. That's a real burden. They feeling that they living with that constantly. That's a feeling that's on their spirit, guilt, because they feel like they letting somebody down and they not where they need to be in life. And that's a lie. That's a lie. And he told me to share that with y'all. And then this feeling of shame, he said that energy came over me because collectively a lot of people feel shame about who they are in their life in the current moment, because they are they comparing themselves. They're competing and comparing with what's going on with them personally with other people, whether it's social media or whatever. And that's what they say, comparison is a thief of joy. And he said, so that's what a lot of people in the collective are living with right now, guilt and shame. And that's what he made me feel that, because I'm not in that energy. I'm not. But guilt and shame, he said, that's a heavy energy, a heavy burden that a lot of people in the collective are just living with, just having. That's just like a black cloud over them. That's ugh. And he said, you need to heal that. And he just said, when you get time, you need to look at that and heal that perspective, that mindset, because it's robbing you of your joy. And it's a lie. It's a psychological lie of the devil, and it's stealing from you. It's stealing from you, because I know I came across I was watching, and it was about this dude who I don't know what show. Oh, he was on Lewis Howes' show. He was talking about that. He said specifically, okay, so he was talking about how limiting belief systems, self-sabotaging belief systems that we hold in our subconscious mind, shame and guilt are the three things that typically drop your frequency the lowest, have the heaviest impact on your frequency, meaning it makes you feel the lousiest in your body, your reality. It makes it really shitty to have to hold that kind of energy, like shame and guilt. He said that's what's robbing people of a lot of joy, and actually it's just stealing from their life. It's taking years off their life. And so I just wanted to share that, man. That's a lie. If you somebody who come across this and you deal with that energy a lot, that's not true. It's a lie. And it's because some kind of way you are still, for whatever reason, you ignoring doing that inner work and looking at that, like, well, why am I comparing myself up against somebody else? Like, the only person you really should be comparing yourself against is you. Because that's, as I'm healing, at least that's what I'm realizing. It ain't never been about being in competition with nobody else. No, it's about being in competition with your own self, the older version of yourself, and trying to evolve consciously into a more self-aware, self-actualized, mature person, and letting go of like belief systems and ideas that really just weigh you down energetically and oppress you. You be oppressing your own mind. Like, that's been a major prayer that I've made to myself, and a commitment. Like, God, please help me release all beliefs, all sabotaging beliefs that I have, that's in my subconscious or that's even in my conscious, that I might have inherited generationally. Any belief in any person or place, place or thing or idea that's going on with me that's not in alignment with the truth of who I am, and that's impeding me from being able to be a better vessel for you to be able to use while I'm here on earth. I was like, whatever that is, get rid of it for me. Just heal me of it so that I can ground everything. Like, okay, everything he's put on my heart that I need to do, or that I need to, just these burning desires, these goals. I know that in order for me to actually do this stuff, I'm going to have to release a lot of beliefs about who I am and how I see myself, worldview. And that was a prayer that I had. And then, not shortly after, my life started to shift. And I know that's because it has something to do with releasing things that's not in alignment with my true self. And so that's my prayer for whoever even might come across this, like, so that you can show up in your world, in your life, and be authentic and not be ashamed or feel guilty of who you are, like who you are and what you have to offer, your true authentic self, not this egoic personality that's still wrapped up in the man-made ideas and judging yourself and damn near hating yourself because you're not measuring up to some societal bullshit. No, our prayer is that you can heal that part of your personality, because that's effed up and it's stealing from you. But I mentioned that because I don't know, your God put that on my heart to bring it up. Ain't nobody got no business running around holding that type of emotion, guilt and shame. Because it's a lie. It's some kind of lie that you're living under psychologically, and you can break that. It's like that's damn near like a mental curse. But you can do it if you can do it if you're willing to get by yourself and really evaluate some of the shit that be going on through your head. That's bogus. Don't nobody deserve it. And you ain't got no business competing against nobody, hating on nobody, judging yourself against nobody. Nah, you run your own race. Are you better today than the person you was yesterday? That's what you need to be looking at. Like that ain't what the fight's about. It's about getting back your consciousness so that you can think for yourself. That's what the real fight is about. Knowing thyself and not being a puppet, not being a sheep, being able to think for yourself. That's what the real fight is about. It ain't got nothing to do with having a better beings than the next somebody. No, that's all egoic nonsense, immature thinking. And that's okay, because at one point I used to have that mindset too. But at some point you got to be willing to go within and look at that. Because some of the heavy emotions we be holding on to societally, that's because somewhere you ain't breaking out and you're thinking and realizing what really matters in life, dude. And I know that's painful because I was there not even too long ago. But I don't wish that on nobody, because that's a bad place to be psychologically. It really is. It's no peace there. So anyway, whoever come across this, that's my prayer for y'all too, that at some point in the near future you can break out of that, whatever might make you feel mentally guilty, shame of who you are, shame of even walking in your truth and your authenticity, which at the end of the day, that keeps you small and shrunken, so you won't even be able to fulfill what you're here to do in the right way. And that's just awful. So I love y'all. Whoever might come across this, I don't know. He said either way, your future is bright if you can get this right. And you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. And either way, just know you're not alone out here. And specifically people on a spiritual journey, I think that's shame and guilt is a energy that a lot of us can tend to hold or carry, because sometimes it's a stigma when you start to try to shift out of some of your old ways. You be thinking you got to be perfect and shit. Like, you be thinking people be trying to judge you. Like, nah, ain't nobody perfect. And just because you on a spiritual journey, you're trying to become more self-actualized or self-aware, don't mean you're not going to go through shit. That's a lie too. That can carry a lot of shame and guilt as well, because you be thinking like, oh man, I'm on this spiritual journey and I got all this crazy shit going on in my life and I'm finna be persecuted and judged. No. Because a lot of time, especially spiritual people, shame and guilt might come up, but your life get blown up when you really take on that journey, because it was so many things you was doing in your life that weren't aligned with the truth of who you are authentically, your true core essence. So anything that was related to your egoic personality and identity that was giving you validation, that shit get blown up. And that's all it be. So it be looking kind of shaky, or you might be having guilt or shame because you feel like People may think that you're just floundering around or meandering around, but you're not. Typically, when you go commit to that journey, it's like it's like the fool's journey. It is. It's a new beginning. It transforms. It just makes you think totally different, and everything about your life do shift out. And it just take time. It's like what they say, you be walking by faith and not by sight. It make you have to tap into all of that. So just know you're not alone, and you're not floundering or meandering around. No, it's a journey where it's an unknown version of yourself that you going towards your North Star, and that blueprint was never laid out. So of course it's gonna look a little unshaky sometimes, but that don't mean stop. That don't mean you're on the wrong path. That don't mean any of that. That's just your personal journey, your story, and you keep going. You're on the right path. No matter how shaky it look, just keep your focus on what God is telling you to do, period. And keep going towards your North Star. And He just wanted me to communicate that, especially to the spiritual community, because I think sometimes you can get all up in your head and start comparing yourself with folks, and then that's the shit that can make you go down to that depression, want to unalive yourself. You're not keeping up with the Joneses. I must be doing something wrong. No, you're not. So don't believe that lie, and get out your head and into your heart, and God will let you know that you're on the right path. And it just take time for things to. It just take time. He transforming you from the inside out, and that's the only way I can see it. He transforming you from the inside out, so you have to be patient. And the reason shit might look shaky is because all that egoic identity that you was living, that might have looked like the perfect whatever on the outside, and according to the world societal standards, that wasn't who you even were. That was some egoic shit that you was clinging to in terms of your identity, but that's not even who you are. So of course it's gonna get blown up. It's so that you can be in alignment with who you really are, and you're gonna get all that shit back and some over, because you're gonna be manifesting from a place that's not on sand. The egoic personality and all the shit that you get behind an egoic drive, that be on sand. But when you become more self-aware and self-actualized from the inside, from that moment forward, everything that you bring into your reality is built on a rock of, okay, I know I'm a child of God. I know who I am. I'm authentic. I don't give a damn about keeping up with the Joneses. You'll be able to manifest and create shit in your life that's on a rock, that's on a solid rock. And it's going to be things that's aligned with what you want, not with what you, it ain't about, I'm going to do this because I'm going to get this same car because that's the popular car. No, you be doing your own thing. And I ain't talking about being no disruptive idiot and causing trouble. No, but I'm just talking about living in your truth and being happy, whether in doing stuff and manifesting things and creating realities and just doing the shit that's really on your heart to do. That's what be going on. I just keep hearing this. Don't die with your music still in you. Don't die with your music still in you. Don't die with your music still in you. So if you're having a rough time specifically and feeling guilt or shame, especially people on a spiritual journey, but anybody, but especially y'all, just know you on the right path. And what you trying to work towards is being sure that you don't die with your song still in you. And I'm on that same path. So you're not alone. Just keep going. No matter what it looked like and no matter what some worldly unawakened person is talking about. So I love y'all. Your future is bright. Whatever you do, keep going. I keep hearing God say, stay the course, stay the course, stay the course, and don't die with your song in you. And that's what you're fighting for. So don't forget it, okay? I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow, maybe. I might come back. I don't know, but I had to get this out. So, okay, good night. Bye.